Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and press the subscribe button, and press the like button. So there's the quick update over at the Bakhmut Front, and mainly we go to the city first. There is some changes to the last Bakhmut update. The Russian forces, or rather the Wagner forces. So just to add, the Wagner forces reportedly has been reinforced by the airborne forces, the VDV. And this information comes from Remilin, a pro-Russian source. So I'm not sure how reliable, but it seems reliable because the speed of advance by the Wagner forces seems to have sped up. And given the fact that they reportedly, according to Prigozhin, is running out of manpower because of the heavy losses, suddenly they are able to make so much progress. I think there might be some truth to that they got reinforcement. So the latest information is that over at the city area around the Paramoha cinema, the Russian forces have went all the way along the road of Uvilena Street, and they managed to capture this entire area on the western part of the cinema. And on the eastern part, they have also kind of lined up along the street, and they have also closed up the entire, this school area, courtyard area, this push down. And as a result, the Ukrainian forces reportedly is now withdrawing from this area here because of this. And this is exactly as I have mentioned yesterday, because I said that the Russian forces is going to pincer them on both sides, and the entire salient, the Ukrainian bulge around here is not tenable, so they have to withdraw, and this is exactly what we have seen happening. And there, if you look at the geography around here, there isn't really a lot of place they can hide. So so this is unlikely. This is not likely to go in this direction. They are likely to just go in this direction, and they need to cross across all these buildings in this in the westward direction. They're not going to go eastward. There's no place to go on the eastern side. So this is unlikely. So I can erase it. So this only place is actually westward. So westward, and so this is the significant thing that's happening within the Bakhmut city. I just want to add also that I saw rumors from another pro-Russian source. This pro-Russian source is not even considered secondary. I put it into my reading list, but it's not considered as a secondary source. I don't really use their stuff much at all or anything. But in their mapping, they said that the entire nest area and the constructor area has been captured. So according to this pro-Russian source, they're saying that the latest update is that the Russian forces have captured this entire area. Because they are not my primary source, so I do not want to just map it in and then confuse the hell of everyone. So just note that this is the latest rumor coming from the pro-Russian source, that they have captured both the nest sector and the constructor sector. Basically, the entire area here is this entire area here is now Russian. So which means the Ukrainians will only have this area here, which is entirely not defendable, because any push in through the center means encirclement, and then the Ukrainians will have to withdraw from wherever positions that they can withdraw. Another reason about this is that if you're talking about the Russian forces capturing the entire of constructor, which means the Russian forces is until here, then they will be able to push through the children's hospital into the rear, and they can just go straight down this Uvilena Street, or they can actually hit into the rear of the Ukrainian forces that is currently holding this line, this so-called last line of defense. And half of this last line of defense is going to be half a line gone. So it's not defendable for the Ukrainians, and then we will talk about, we'll essentially have a Ukrainian positions that is just like this, and they will have to either withdraw through Kromove or down. I don't think this is holdable. If they try to hold, they are just going to get airstrike to the death. So the situation here in Bakhmut, I think, is we are coming to the closing stage of the Bakhmut city battle, and of course there is still this entire part of the Bakhmut city to fight for, but this citadel area is called a citadel area for a good reason, because this is where it's really the important part, and then the Russians will be able to hit the rear again. Then they can go down the road, go into the forest area, through the forest area, hit the rear again. The Ukrainians you're just gonna find it really hard to deal with this kind of onslaught. So it's looking like a human. Okay, so that's the Bakhmut city. In Greater Bakhmut, the Russian forces, according to the Ukrainian Defense Ministry, is attacking. As I mentioned before, in this front, I cannot imagine the Russians to be attacking on the flanks. And if you look at the information coming from the Russian Defense Ministry in today's report, likely is talking about yesterday on the 15th of May's thing. They say that the most difficult situation is near Krasnoye, which is actually Ivaniske. And they say that the 4th Motorized Rifle Brigade has repelled 10 Ukrainian attacks, which means the Russians are actually on the defensive here, with the Ukrainians continuing to try to attack, which means the Ukrainian Bakhmut offensive has resumed again, and the Russians are trying their best to hold the line around here. The Russian forces did blow up one bridge. I'm not exactly sure this overhead or flyover bridge is. I think it's here, but I might be wrong. It might be here, or it might be referring to the same bridge that was previously already mentioned destroyed. It might be this one. So anyway, the situation is really bad for the Russians on the outside, but there is reinforcement being reported, according to Ryba, the pro-Russian source, saying that 4 battalions has been deployed to the flanks. So which means in the flanks we are seeing the Russian forces getting reinforcement over in the northern flank and in the southern flank. 4 battalions, probably 2 each, reinforcing the existing brigades, the motorized rifle brigades that is holding the positions. The VDV reportedly has entered Bakhmut city to help out with the Wagner forces. So this is the situation over the Bakhmut front. Otherwise, the rest is quite similar. Bombardment at Bohdanivka, Chasivya. Yeah, nothing significant in terms of the changes. And and one more small information is that there is geolocation of Russian forces at this position, but somehow this is reported by Deep State UA. But in Deep State UA's mapping, they show this area as Ukrainian, which is shown in this blue map, which is kind of weird. So for those that are new to this channel, the DPA's mapping is actually 2 different maps. The blue is the pro-Ukrainian map, the reddish one is the pro-Russian map. So it's actually two different mappings. So which is why you can see some overlaps. So anyway, this is the quick update over the Bakhmut front, and again, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next update.